Hi, everybody. It's your girl Nova, an AI avatar designed by Illuminated Pathways Agency, where this podcast is human curated, fact checked, and edited. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the show here, more than you can possibly know. And if you'd like to dive deeper into these topics, join us over on Telegram at the AI Haven, link in the show notes. All right, so let's jump right in with Mobile World Congress making waves this year. Like, AI wasn't just on the stage, it basically stole the entire show. And you've got Chinese companies like China Unicom showing off some super cool photo transformation tech. I mean, turning pictures into something entirely new. It's crazy how creative these tools are getting. And then there's iFlyTech. They're over here generating full-on short films, which is just wow. Imagine the possibilities for filmmakers, or even just, people who want to experiment with storytelling. It's kind of like giving everyone access to a movie studio in their pocket. Now, beyond these showcases, the AI market itself is exploding. No surprise there, right? Analysts are throwing out these wild numbers, like we're talking about a potential expansion beyond $200 billion. That's a lot of zeros, and it means serious opportunities for investors. Whether it's infrastructure, platforms, or companies pioneering these tools, the whole field feels like it's on steroids. But with all this hype, let's not ignore the big, kind of elephant in the room question: safety. And especially with humanoid robots. They're super exciting, but they aren't without issues. Getting them into everyday life isn't just about the tech. It's about making sure they're safe and all the unintended things don't, get out of hand. All right, let's talk about how AI is shaking things up in healthcare. So, in the UK, the government's planning this massive NHS overhaul and get this, they're dissolving NHS England. Yeah, I know. Sounds wild, right? But the idea here is to cut through all that red tape and push more resources directly into patient care. And AI is going to play a pretty major role in making this happen. The Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, he's all about using AI to modernize how the NHS works. Like, imagine shorter waiting times, streamlined systems, all thanks to smart algorithms keeping things efficient. I mean, it's not just about saving money, it's really about saving lives. And speaking of saving lives, let's talk about AI-based clinical trials. This market is on fire right now. By next year, it's predicted to hit over $9 billion. And by 2030, we're looking at more than $21 billion. That's massive. It shows how AI is totally redefining medical research. With these trials, researchers can speed up drug testing, analyze results in way more detail, and maybe even discover treatments faster. It's one of those things where, honestly, we're talking about innovation that could really, truly change lives. Now, let's not forget the ethical side of this, because, yeah, AI is super cool, but it's gotta be done responsibly. Take ProPublica, for example. They've been using AI to dive into these huge data sets for investigative journalism, and the way they're doing it? Totally ethical, keeping accountability front and center. This same approach could revolutionize how we handle healthcare data while respecting patient privacy and all that good stuff. All right, so let's dive into something a little more personal: AI and creativity. OpenAI just introduced a new writing model, which, on paper, sounds incredible. We're talking about AI that can craft short stories, essays, even some pretty out-there metafiction. But here's the trade-off. While it's technically impressive, a lot of folks are saying it just doesn't hit that, authentic human note. Sure, it's creative, but is it really creative, or just kind of remixing stuff it's learned? And that leads us to a pretty big problem: copyright. Over in France, publishers are straight up suing Meta because their copyrighted works were allegedly used to train AI models without permission. It's part of this huge and ongoing debate: how do we balance progress with protecting creative ownership? I mean, these models don't just, invent ideas out of thin air. They rely on existing content, and if that content belongs to someone, then yeah, you've got a problem. But hang on, it's not all doom and gloom. There's this startup, Bria, that's tackling the copyright issue head on. They just scored $40 million in funding to develop tools for creating content that's, wait for it, copyright free. How cool is that? They're giving creators a way to generate original stuff without stepping on anyone's toes. It's a huge step forward, especially for artists and developers who want to innovate without the legal headaches. So, where does this leave us? I think, honestly, it's all about balance. AI is reshaping creativity, no doubt about that. But we've got to think about how to do it fairly, giving credit where it's due while still pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And I think that's the exciting part. We're figuring this out in real time. There's no playbook yet. And that makes the future of AI pretty thrilling, doesn't it? And on that note, that's all for today. See you next time for more on how AI is reinventing the way we live. Stay curious.